Most people judge a win by results. Jesus starts somewhere else. He weighs the why. That surprises us because results feel solid and motives feel foggy. But Jesus keeps bringing the camera inside. All a person's ways seem pure, but motives are weighed by the Lord. Verse 16. Too short. That line means God is not fooled by the packaging outward show. He looks at the engine, inner aim. Picture a normal Monday. You stay late to help a teammate finish a report. Your manager notices. Your name shows up in a meeting. On paper, that is a success. But two different motives can live under one action. If the goal is make myself indispensable, your heart will demand more attention next time. Therefore, you will push a little harder for credit. Your soul will get loud when someone else is praised. But if the goal is love, serve the team, serve the client, your heart stays steady even when no one claps. The same act grows different fruit because the roots are different. This was true in ancient Israel too. Kings were often measured by army size and harvest numbers. God kept sending prophets to say, I see the heart. Success without surrender, yielding to God, always drifted toward harm. This means the scoreboard is not evil. It is just incomplete. Numbers tell you what happened. Motives tell you who you are becoming. Here is a simple motive check before you act. Ask 3 quick questions. Why this? Why now? For whom? If your answer cannot stand before God's face, His presence, slow down. If your answer is mixed, name it. Mixed is normal. Honesty clears the fog. When you say, part of me wants applause, you can choose a cleaner next step. You can do the good thing quietly. You can redirect the credit to the team. Small choices like that retrain the heart. One real example. A friend leads a food drive every winter. The first year he posted every delivery. The likes felt good. The second year he kept one drop-off off camera. He said the joy was different. It was lighter. It was free. He was still glad to report impact, but he learned to aim at God first, then share results to invite others not to feed his image. Small takeaway: results matter, but motives steer. Therefore, check your aim before you pull the trigger on the action. Next, we'll name the place motives drift the fastest, our prayers, and how to aim them back at God. Reflection. Where did your reason for a good thing drift toward image? And what would a cleaner aim look like today? God answers honesty faster than He answers image. James said it plain. You ask with wrong motives. Jazz 4:3, short. Wrong motives means asking for something good to feed something small, self-importance. This is not new. In the first century, churches met in homes where wealth and status could tilt the room. People could pray noble words yet angle for position. That is why the New Testament often warns against rivalry, competition for rank. Let's bring it to a Tuesday. You pray for a promotion. The work is real. Your gifts fit. But your heart is noisy. Part of you wants impact to do real good. Part of you wants applause to feel seen. If applause drives the prayer, the yes will not satisfy you. You will need another title to feel alive. Therefore, even answered prayer will not heal the ache. But if impact drives the prayer, a weight or not, yet will not undo you. You can still serve with joy because the point was God's purpose, not your platform place to be noticed. Here is a 60-second prayer audit you can use before you ask anything big. Why this? Why now? For whom? Why this puts the request on the table. Why now checks for fear or hurry. For whom names the real audience. If any answer shrinks to self, say so. This is confession, telling the truth to God. This does not disqualify you. This frees you. Once the motive is on the surface, you can ask cleaner. Father, give me the role that best serves people and honors you. If waiting forms me, help me wait well. A real story. A friend wanted to plant a church. He prayed for a building, a band, and a big launch. His mentor asked the audit. Why this? Why now? For whom he realized he wanted to prove he was not a failure after a hard season. He shifted the prayer, grow my character first. He started a living room Bible study. 2 years later, a building opened. By then, his joy was in the people, not the photo. The request did not die. It was purified. Small takeaway. Clean motives turn prayer from leverage pressure on God into communion walking with God. Therefore, your heart can rest even before outcomes change. Next, we'll test the same truth outside prayer, how God chooses people beyond hype, and how that resets our idea of success. Reflection. What prayer on your lips today needs the 60-second audit, and how would the request change if impact, not applause, led the way? God sees the person you are when nobody claps. When Samuel went to anoint Israel's next king, he looked at the tall, polished brother and thought, "This must be the one." God corrected him with one line, "The Lord looks on the heart." 1 Sam 16:7. Short. Heart here means the true inner person, your settled will and loves. This means God does not hire by shine. He looks for a steady, faithful core. Bring this into a hiring room today. A candidate walks in with a flawless deck slide presentation and crisp stories that make crowds nod. You feel the pull. But you ask for examples of unseen service. Who did they lift when cameras were off? How did they act when a teammate failed? If the answers are thin, the polish may be a mask. Therefore, charisma without character becomes a risk. It moves fast, wins applause, and then breaks trust. But someone with a quiet heart will keep promises when the lights are harsh and the inbox is full. This matters in church, at work, and at home. If we chase optics, how things look, we teach our souls to perform. We start curating our lives like a feed. We choose words that play well instead of words that help. We pick projects that are visible instead of tasks that carry weight. The result is fragile success. It looks big and feels hollow. But if we train the heart for service, the work may look small and feel solid. People heal around that kind of life. Here is a simple practice for your next post-pitch or presentation. Strip one brag. Add one concrete service outcome. Brag means a line meant to raise your image more than help your listener. Service outcome means a clear benefit to others. For example, instead of "I led the most successful launch," say, "Our team reduced customer wait times by 4 minutes, which cut daily stress in our support queue." This does not erase excellence. This clarifies purpose. Excellence is good. Performing for approval is a trap. A real-life example. A friend applied for a school principal role. He removed the glossy slogan from his resume header and added 2 hard numbers about reading growth and teacher retention. He told one quiet story about covering lunch duty for a month so aides could rest. The district chose him over a more magnetic speaker. Later, they said the story of unseen service sealed it. They trusted the heart. Small takeaway. God's measure of success starts at the core. Therefore, aim to be the same person on stage and off stage and let results flow from a faithful heart. Next, we'll face a hard truth. Motives are rarely pure. They are mixed. That is normal. The goal is not perfection, but clean direction, and we'll learn how to get there. Reflection. Where are you tempted to choose what looks impressive over what truly helps and what one strip a brag? Add a service outcome change. Could you make this week? Most hearts are not clean or dirty. They are mixed. That does not make you a fraud. That makes you human. David prayed, "Search me. Test me, peace." 139:23 short. Search means invite God to look closely. Test means ask God to expose what drives you. This is the posture that grows a steady life. Here is the claim. The goal is clean direction, not perfect purity. Clean direction means the main aim points at God and people, even if some ego noise is still there. You do not wait to act until you feel flawless. You act while naming the mix. Naming is how the fog starts to thin. Let me show you how this works in a church hallway. You sign up to lead a small group. You love to help. You also want people to think you are wise. Both are in the room. If you deny the second part, it will steer you in secret. Therefore, you will chase applause. You will fear hard feedback. But if you say it out loud to God and to one trusted friend, the grip loosens. You can lead for the good of the people, not for your image. A simple 3-step prayer can help. Step 1. Name the pull. Father, I want to serve, and I also want to be seen. Step 2. Ask for cleansing. Cut the part that is about me. Aim me at love. Step 3. Take one faithful action. Do one thing that serves with no extra spotlight. This trains the heart to follow the motive you just prayed. Add counsel to the mix. Wise friends help you hear your own story. Invite someone who can say no to you. Ask them to reflect back what they hear in your reasons. This does not shame you. This shapes you. Often the next right step becomes clear when another believer names the better aim. One real example. A woman I know wanted to launch a mentoring program at work. She cared about young hires. She also liked the idea of being known as a culture builder. She prayed the 3-step prayer. She asked a seasoned colleague to poke holes. Then she chose a quiet pilot with 5 people and no press. The results were strong. Her joy rose because she was helping people, not chasing a label. Later, when the company wrote about it, the article felt like overflow, not the point. Small takeaway. Mixed motives do not have to run your life. Therefore, confess them, invite counsel, and take one small, faithful step that starves your ego and feeds love. Next, we will practice the one habit Jesus gave to realign the heart, doing good in secret so your appetite shifts from applause to the Father's smile. Reflection. Which mixed motive do you need to name out loud this week? And what is one small, faithful action you can take that does not feed your image? Jesus gave a habit that rewires the heart. Do one good thing no one can trace back to you. He said your Father. Seasoned secret, Matt 6:4. Short. Secret means hidden from public view. This means you move your audience from the crowd to God. In the 1st century, people lived in an honor culture. Status mattered. Jesus shifted the reward system. He took the spotlight off the street and aimed it at the Father's smile. Here is why this works. Applause trains appetite. If praise fuels your joy, you will need bigger moments to feel alive. Therefore, your motives drift toward image, even when your actions help people. But secret obedience breaks that loop. No one claps. The good still gets done. Your heart learns to enjoy the act itself and the Father's notice. Over time, the itch for credit quiets. Try this simple plan for 1 week. Pick one secret act of love. Keep a short list of ideas and choose one that fits your life. Pay a bill for someone who is stressed and say nothing. Leave an encouraging note on a coworker's desk with no signature. Clean the break room after lunch. Send a grocery gift card through a mutual friend so it cannot be traced to you. When you want to hint, stop. When you want to post, don't. At night, tell God the story with a smile and thank Him that He saw it all. A real example. A friend works in property management. Residents often argue about shared spaces. He started coming in early once a week to tidy the lobby and wipe the elevator smudges. He told no one. A month later, complaints dropped. He said the strangest part was the joy. He was not waiting for credit. He was happy that the building felt peaceful. Secret good changed the space and changed his appetite. If you serve in church, this habit matters even more. Public ministry easily becomes public performance. So pair visible roles with invisible service. Teach on Sunday, but also stack chairs when no one is around. Lead a song and then send a quiet meal to a caregiver midweek. The mix keeps your soul from starving for likes. Small takeaway. Hidden obedience is not smaller, it is stronger. Therefore, train your heart with one secret act this week and let God be your audience. Next, we will follow the trail that exposes our motives. Without words, how money and time reveal what we truly love and how a 15-minute audit can reset your week. Reflection. What simple, secret act of love fits your week, and how will you keep it truly unseen? Your calendar is your confession. Jesus said, "Where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Matt, chapter 6, say 21. Short. Treasure means what you treat as most valuable. Heart means your true center, what drives choices. This means your week already tells the truth about your motives, even if your words sound right. We do not have to guess what we love. We can look. Let me ground this in a Thursday night. You tell your family they matter most. Yet the last 4 weeks show late night side work every Saturday and dinners eaten in separate rooms. You are not lying. You are drifting. Work pressure shouts, and the urgent crowds out the important. Therefore, the heart leans toward income and image while the mouth says relationship. That gap creates guilt and distance. But a small, honest reset can close the gap fast. Here is a 15-minute audit that exposes and heals. Grab your last 7 days. Circle your 3 biggest time blocks. List your 3 biggest expenses outside housing and essentials. Now ask, what story do these 6 items tell? If the story is hustle without rest, or giving without presence, or endless scrolling without prayer, do not spiral. Name one change for this week. Move a 1-hour block from screen to a slow dinner. Shift one purchase from self-comfort to quiet generosity. Put a 10-minute thank God and ask for wisdom stop at the start of your day. Small changes bend motives back toward love. A real-life example. A couple I know felt constant money anxiety. They said they wanted to be generous, but could never afford it. The audit showed daily food delivery and 2 unused subscriptions. They canceled the extras and set a small automatic gift to a local crisis fund. The number was not impressive. The motive shift was. Anxiety eased because their spending finally matched their declared loves. Their hearts followed their treasure. If you lead a team, do the audit with your work calendar too. Put people, not just projects, on the schedule. Block time for 1 coaching conversation each week. When budgets get tight, choose cuts that protect care. Your team will feel your motives because the trail of your time and money will match your words. Small takeaway. Habits reveal hearts. Therefore, change 1 block and 1 line item this week so your loves show up where your minutes and dollars go. Next, we'll add a guardrail that keeps the story honest, wise counsel that can challenge your why before you make the call. Reflection. What does your last week say you actually worship, and what one-time block or expense will you change to tell a truer story? The first call you make shapes the story you tell yourself. Scripture says, plans fail for lack of counsel, Rev. 15:22. Short. Counsel means trusted advice from people with character and skill. This means wisdom is not only what you know. Wisdom is who you invite in. When pressure rises, our own narration gets loud. We frame the facts to favor our fear or our pride. A wise friend resets the frame. Let me put this in a Friday decision. You get an offer with a pay bump and a shiny title. The culture feels off, but the relief of more money is loud. Your parents love the stability. Your friends cheer the prestige. Then your mentor asks one question. How will this form your soul and your home? That question does not attack success. It tests the motive under it. Therefore, you start to see beyond the raise. You picture late dinners, a thinner patience, and a smaller presence for the people you say you love. The offer might still be right. But now you can decide for reasons that hold up in the light. Here is a simple counsel rule before big moves or public posts. Run your motive aloud to one person who can say no to you. Not just someone who loves you, someone who loves God and you. Someone who tells the truth without drama. Give them permission to challenge the why, not just polish the how. Ask them to repeat back what they hear in your heart. Often you will catch the subtle shift from service to self before it costs you. A real example. A designer I know wanted to leave her company after a conflict with leadership. Her closest friend said, "You deserve better. Jump." She called an older believer who had led teams for years. He listened and then asked, "Is this about justice or vindication?" She paused. The answer was mixed. He suggested a 3-month plan document issues. Clearly try one more peacemaking meeting and keep the door open with grace. She followed the plan, then left with clean motives and strong references. The new job came, and her peace came with it. Counsel did not trap her. Counsel set her free to move without bitterness. If you are the go-to person for others, set your own guardrails. Name 2 advisors for faith and work. Tell them your blind spots. Reach out before the moment, not after the mess. If you lead a team, build a culture where pushback is welcomed. The questions you allow will be the integrity you keep. Small takeaway: the voices you wait become the values you live. Therefore, invite one seasoned voice to test your why before you decide. Next, we will land the deepest shift. You cannot white-knuckle a pure motive. Only grace moves the heart from proving to gratitude, and gratitude changes how Jesus measures success. Reflection. Who has permission to challenge your reason for a big decision right now? And when will you ask them to listen? You can't white-knuckle a pure motive. The heart moves when it is loved. Scripture says, "We love because he first loved us." Adjourned. And 4:19, short. First loved means God took the first step and set the tone. This means success in Jesus' eyes is not you proving worth. It is you responding to grace with faithful presence where you are. Here is the shift. Earning asks, "What must I do so God will approve me?" Gratitude asks, "What has God done that frees me to love well?" Earning breeds fear, hurry, and comparison. Therefore, even good deeds feel like tests. Gratitude breeds courage and patience. Therefore, the same deeds feel like worship. You still work hard, but the why is different. You are not climbing a ladder to God. You are walking with God into the work in front of you. A Monday scene. You face a difficult coworker. Earning says, "Be kind so I can feel righteous." That motive snaps under pressure. One bad interaction and you quit trying. Gratitude says, "Christ was patient with me when I was hard to love." That motive lasts through a slow week. You set a boundary, still tell the truth, and keep showing basic respect. The outcome may or may not change fast, but your heart does. Peace grows because the motive flows from being loved, not from chasing a grade. Try a 2-line start to each day. Line 1, Father, I am loved already in Christ. Line 2, help me love well in the next thing. Then pick one next thing. Answer an email with clarity and kindness. Give a fair price. Correct your child without sarcasm. Pray for a competitor's good. This is not soft, this is strong. Gratitude fuels consistent action without the drag of image management. A real example. A nurse I know kept volunteering for the toughest floor partly to be seen as heroic. She burned out. A mentor helped her name the motive and reset with gratitude. She switched one shift, built a small peer support check-in, and started that 2-line prayer. Her output stayed high, but the edge softened. Patients felt it. Her supervisor noticed, not because she chased notice, but because her presence steadied the unit. The scoreboard improved, but it was the byproduct, not the aim. Small takeaway. Grace moves motive from proving to responding. Therefore, start from loved already, and let gratitude drive the next faithful step. Next, we'll land the plane with a quick recap and 3 practical moves you can take today so your why, what, and fruit align with how Jesus measures success. Reflection. What is one area where you've been trying to prove yourself, and how would your next step change if you started from loved already? Let's gather the thread. Jesus measures success by motive first, then action, then fruit. We learn to check the why before we hit send. We aimed our prayers at communion, not leverage jazz 4-3 short. We chose heart over hype, 1. Sam 16:7 short. We named mixed motives and took one faithful step. We trained appetite with secret good, Matt 6:4 short. We let our time and money tell the truth, Matt 21 short. We invited wise counsel to test our story, Rav 15:22 short. And we shifted from proving to gratitude because he first loved us, Jan 4:19 short. Here are 3 moves you can take today. 1. The 60-second motive audit. Before one key choice, ask, why this, why now? For whom? If the answers shrink to self, confess it and pick a cleaner step. 2. The secret practice. Do one unseen act this week. Tell no one. Thank God at night that he saw it. This resets your appetite. 3. The trail reset. Change one time block and one expense so your calendar and budget match what you say you love. Share that change with a trusted friend for support. If you lead a team or a home model, the shift out loud. Say, we will choose what truly helps over what only looks good. People around you will feel the difference. Peace grows because motives align with love. One closing line to carry into the week. I am loved already. Help me love well in the next thing. Say it before a meeting. Say it in traffic. Say it when you are tired and tempted to perform. Let gratitude steady your hand. If this helped, drop your takeaway below and share the video with someone deciding under pressure. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode as we tackle the one habit that clears conflict before it starts. Reflection. Which of the 3 moves, audit, secret practice, or trail reset, will you do first, and when will you start?